this, hiding in this.
Every time I run into you after the game, Meredith Scott, you feel dirty. I think that's a good one.
Everybody set? Well, Coach, I mean, the big talk, of course, is that 6th win. I mean, it's obviously a goal coming into this year. Not many thought you guys would accomplish it. So what does it mean to really get to that point?
You know, it's a really good feeling. It's a great feeling. You know, it's good to see that all the hard work when we first got here with the guys and just them seeing it pay off now, and them to reach that 6th game, going to a bowl now. It's a great feeling for those guys. It was a great celebration in the locker room, and you know, that's what these guys work hard for. You know, and still got a lot to play for in these last 2 games, and then obviously the bowl game, and you know, this being senior week, it was senior game and everything like that. It's going to be a special moment for some of these seniors that's been through a lot here in the program, and you know, making sure that it's a special. That's always a special night, and just let's go out and play our hardest out for these guys.
How happy are you for those seniors that this season has gone the way it has?
Yeah, it's extremely happy. You know, when we first got with these guys, we kind of told them, but it's to a lot of them when we told them this is what it's going to be like, all the work and how hard it was going to be. But when it does start coming together for you guys will see the results of it. And, you know, just being about the daily grind with it. Not once during the season did we ever talk about bowl games or anything like that. It was just the day-by-day preparation, getting ready for your opponent. And so the way these guys have come and went to work every day, it was fantastic. It was awesome to be around. Every time when you tell these guys like, we got to do this or we got to work on this, they come out and they try their best to try to make those improvements. And as a coach, that's awesome with these guys. You know, and it's fun to be around. You know, the sad part about it is we only got to be around these seniors for less than a year, you know, and you're building these relationships. You're hoping that you could have these guys much longer, but that's just, you know, that's unfortunate part about it.
Syracuse came into the season kind of expected to win a lot more games than they have. So what have you seen on film that makes them still very dangerous?
I see a great defense. They got as good of a tandem of their defensive ends are as good as anybody we played all season. Both of those guys are really well. I was talking to one of my former players the other day, and he asked about one of their DNs. He's like, "Is he still playing there?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Man, he was really good." And I was like, "Yeah." But they play extremely hard, play extremely well on defense. They got speed. They can run. To me, they're playing great ball. And so it's going to be I've told my tackles and told the offensive line that their front 7 is very good. They're very active, and we're going to do a great job with our assignments, with our eyes, and being where we're supposed to be this week.
Javion getting 1,000 yards, that's more than just one guy reaching 1,000 yards. What's it mean to the team? You know, they got a 1,000-yard runner back there. You know,
I think that's important for us because, you know, for us, running the football is going to be important every year. And that's something that's always a goal of ours, you know, and that's a credit to also to the running backs. I mean, because that's a lot of, you know, not only the carries but the hits that those guys take on some of those carries, staying healthy, staying on top of their bodies. Because a lot of times that has to do with, you know, just being able to stay throughout the whole season, being on top of your game, and not letting little nicks and injuries kind of affect your performance. And Hawk's done a great job with that all season, and you know, it's something that. We talk about, but it's great to see. I know that the offensive line, the tight ends, everybody's extremely happy about that when that milestone finally we reached it, and a lot of excitement for it. And it's something that each year that's got to be a standard that we always try to get to.
You think it is about Hawk that gives him? He has great vision, agility, just gives him the ability to have the year he's having.
I just think, man, like when we first got here, the way, you know, Hawkins is not the biggest guy on the field, but he runs as big as anybody I've ever been around. Every time he touches the ball, I think he touches it like he's got something to prove. And he just plays so hard, and he's a physical downhill runner, but at the same time he's got speed where he can get outside and make things happen in the open field. I think he's a very special back that's got a lot of tools, and it's fun being around him, just his competitiveness and just how he works. And I know the guys, they love it with him being back there because they know the type of player he is. He gets those guys up front going, and it's fun to be around.
I know when you guys came into the season, obviously Hassan and Hawk were the 1 and 2 kind of guys, but Jiggins, I'm probably going to have an all-ACC season. He'll probably be a freshman All-American. Just, you expect this type of historic kind of year from him?
Well, we knew that, like, after spring ball, when we started working with him, that he was a pretty special back. We felt pretty good about it. Obviously, with our offense, we know we're going to try to go out and run the ball week in and week out. So we know those guys were going to have some production. And just he has some great flashes. He just showed, like, there were times when he took the ball and we were just like, wow. And it was not just the stuff that he did on the perimeters and just some of the things of making the defender moves, but just how powerful he ran. To be his size, he is a powerful runner, and I think he has a lot of weapons, a lot of tools, and he displays them on Saturday, and it's fun to watch.
Coach, the energy that you and Ivy and Cardwell bring pregame, amongst others, did that come organically, or did you guys make a decision that that's going to be part of your job on game day?
I think that's just – I think that – and I tell people this all the time, we got a bunch of passionate coaches here, and we love being around our guys, and we wish we could still be out there on the field with them. But just that special bond, that special relationship you have with your players, with that group of guys, getting them however you feel like you need to get them up for a game, the excitement, the drive, the adrenaline. But it's not something that it's scripted of where we're going out there saying this is what we're going to do today. It's straight from the heart. It's the emotions that you get in the pre-games going into the games. But that's what I always tell people. I was like, we got a bunch of passionate coaches that love being around their guys. And you see that. You see it on the practice field. You see it before the games. You see it during the games. And I think that's something very special that we have as a team.
Does that just take a lot of coffee in game day morning?
There is definitely a lot of caffeine that's consumed in this building. There's no doubt about that.
Final home game for you guys. What's this first year been for you guys as a staff?
It's been exciting. You know, you've had obviously you're coming in, you're trying to implement a new scheme, trying to implement the standards that Coach Satterfield had for the program, and just getting everybody playing the way that we are wanting them to play, and seeing them grow and progress throughout the whole season, and just watching them how they responded and how they worked. And it's been awesome. You know, being with Coach Satterfield and this staff every day, and just we have a great time together. I think the players, I think they feed off of us as a staff, because I think that truly when you get around us as a staff, it's like we're a bunch of best friends. They're just hanging out, having a good time, enjoying what we do each day. And we're blessed to be in the position we are with that. We all have great relationships, and you know, being here in Louisville and a new fan base and just taking it all in, it's a lot of excitement, a lot of fun. But you know, the daily grind of it, sometimes you got to take a step back to kind of, like, when you're asked that question, you really start thinking about it, because you get so consumed in the day-to-day activities of the season. But it's been wonderful. It's been awesome, and it's something that, you know, we go back and look. Obviously, we want to try to build on a lot of things that we're building, but it starts with all that fundamental stuff that Coach Sat spoke on day one, and just keep making sure we keep hitting that home.
What about that home game day experience when the fans are in this place? What's that like for you?
It's electric.
Yeah.
You know, I think the card march that we do, that's special. Coming off the bus, walking down through there, going through the fans. I know the players, they love it. You know, coming out, we got a great entrance for the game. And just, this is a beautiful place. The stadium, how many people it holds, the excitement that the fans have been with us throughout the whole, even the Virginia game when the weather wasn't great, it was electric. And it's special, because that's what you got to have. I mean, these kids are working so hard. when they come out here, they feed off that energy, and you can feel it on the sidelines.
But when you looked at film, how did you feel like the offense did without Makai out there Saturday?
I thought Adonis did. Obviously Makai is a special talent. Everybody you talk to, there's not a lot of people his size that does what he does on the field. And will you ever replace Makai? Absolutely not. But at the same time, I thought Adonis really went in there, and I thought he played really, really well. Really pleased with how well he played. And so we're excited about that. We're excited about that going forward in the future and everything about that. So we feel good. And Makai's been right there with them all along, step by step, helping them out along the way. So he's been a great coach / teammate there for him along the way. And it was good to see. Definitely good to see.
You think Makai will play Saturday?
I do. I know he's eager and excited to get back on the field, and he's working really hard and doing everything he's supposed to, doing it, and he's looking good right now.
You said getting that game ball was a special moment for you. Are we going to see Coach Ledford in the bird head mask at some point?
We could probably arrange that if one pops down on the sideline, but that was, you're talking about being organic. That was one of the more special moments I've had on the field for Malik to do that. My wife was coming onto the field, and that's straight from the heart, man. I get a little emotional talking about it because he didn't have to do that. And he asked my wife you want to hand this to Coach? And she's like, no, you do it. And he's like, well, let's go do this together. And that's the type of kids, man. It's special. It's really special. And they know that obviously when you come from a place, you come into a new place, what that game means a lot to you, obviously. And but that ball will always be on my wall. And that's a moment, that picture I saw on Twitter, that's going to be hanging up downstairs in my man cave, and something that nobody will ever be able to take away from me.
All right.
Appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
Appreciate it.